You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. What a botch job. The continued criticism of Harry's wife shows no sign of abating. This continues to present a challenge for her, should it come to her attention. Not only are people speaking out with regard to how she's royally buggered it all up, but it's being repeatedly reported on by the mainstream media, which is not offering any protection whatsoever. That in itself sends a firm signal to Harry's wife as to the way that she's seen, and it would appear that the newly installed talent agency is struggling against this tidal wave of disapproval and highlighting of her failure. This time, Amber Rakin in The Independent writes, Bethany Frankel criticizes Harry and Harry's wife's post-royal lives as a botched job. Bethany Frankel has again criticized Prince Harry and Harry's wife, with the reality star describing the couple's lives since leaving the royal family as a botched job. The former Real Housewives of New York City's star, so clearly a barometer of cultural approval, shared a video to TikTok on Tuesday, 25th of July, to discuss how the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been targeted by online criticism since stepping down from their royal duties in 2020. In her own remarks about Harry and Harry's wife, Frankel appeared to question both the couple and their publicist when she asked, how could someone botch something so badly? A fair question, and one that I will readily answer. And you, as keen students of my work, should already be formulating the answer in your head. Namely, her narcissism was capable of getting her there, but it wasn't capable of keeping her there. And all the things that she did to assert control over those people had repercussions, had collateral consequences. Lacking the narc-craft charisma and ability of a more evolved narcissist, she was able to, if you will, repair the situation in the moment, but all she was doing was kicking the can down the road, and eventually that can has turned around and has belted her between the eyes. She botches it so badly because 1. She has no talent, 2. She's an unlikable individual, 3. Her behavior, governed by her narcissism, creates all these instances of poor behavior. At first, some people would give her a pass. She's new to all of this. It's a little bit bewildering. Perhaps it's not been reported fairly. Oh, it's just a biased observation about her. It's a cultural difference that has occurred. She's settling in. But the more people watched, and remember, she courted and loved the prominence because of what it subconsciously provided her with regard to the prime aims, they saw, hang on a second, she's had plenty of time to settle in, she's buggering it up. She's received plenty of advice from the Queen and other members of the royal family, and she's buggering it up. She's received external advice from PR agencies, and she's buggering it up. Notwithstanding all of the chances that she'd been given, all of the provision of help, all of the offerings of assistance, she's continued to fuck it up. And the reason is, as a consequence of her lack of talent, her behaviors, and the governance of her narcissism, which just simply, ultimately, isn't up to the job of keeping her in a position of prominence without her causing problems towards other people. Frankel then expressed how she feels sorry for Harry and Harry's wife and claimed that the royals think their lives are fascinating. I almost feel badly, like I think I do feel badly, because I can't imagine having so much at your fingertips and letting it all slip away because of living inside your own head, Frankel added, which is a good description. But remember, Harry's wife doesn't see that she's caused it to slip away. Others have caused it. After all, as I reported yesterday, there are dark forces at work that are briefing against her, the paranoia of Harry's wife, and her inability to be accountable for her own failures. Frankel continued, "And thinking every single thing that you do and say and want is so fascinating that you should be accepting awards at podiums around the world. Why?" Again, it's driven by her narcissism, which tells her that she's the most important person in the universe. After discussing Harry's wife's success as an actor before marrying Harry, Frankel once again remarked on the negative press that has surrounded the couple. "How do you do every single thing wrong?" she asked. The reality star then claimed, "God forbid the couple were to split. They are all that each other has," seemingly referring to Harry's estranged relationships with his father, King Charles III, and older brother Prince William. Meanwhile, Harry's wife also has an estranged relationship with her father, Thomas Markle. Frankel continued her video by claiming that she'd never seen a botched job like this in my life, as she described Harry and Harry's wife's public lives. I can't imagine going from hero to zero like that," she said, seemingly referring to their decision to leave the royal family. "Having money, having opportunities," she added, before calling Harry and Harry's wife two grifters and urging the couple to stay out of the spotlight. "Go away, for a long time, and basta, and close the mouth," she said. Frankel then referred to the various ways that Harry's wife and Harry have recently made headlines, including the paparazzi car chase they experienced in May and the false rumours that Harry's wife was becoming the face of Dior. "What goes on?" she said. "Like, just quieten down for a really long time, or just like go on the real world or something. I don't know." While Frankel didn't specify why she was speaking out about Harry's wife and Harry, she did address the backlash that she's previously faced for her opinions in the caption of her post. "Remember you counselled me for stating the truth. Remember it happened again." In the text over her video, she wrote, "The biggest botch jobs ever." In the comments of the video, which has had more than 276,000 views, many viewers agreed with Frankel and claimed that her criticism about the ongoing coverage of Harry and Harry's wife was accurate. "I agree. It's so sad. They could have had such a huge, positive platform," one TikTok user wrote. However, other viewers criticized Frankel for continuing to discuss the couple, with one writing, "You do make valid points, but you bring them up an awful lot. Maybe you should also let them be." This isn't the first time that Frankel has criticised Harry and Harry's wife's decisions after leaving with the royal family. In a September 2022 episode of her Just Be with Bethany Frankel podcast, she discussed the release of Harry's wife's Archetypes podcast, claiming that the Duchess can't stop talking about the very thing that she wants to be irrelevant. Frankel also accused Harry's wife of trying to take down the royal family and saying that while it's important to address issues of racism, that's not something that people are surprised by. "So you wanted out of there? Okay, you got out, but it is your husband's family, and you keep beating the same storyline," she continued. "You want to be a voice for change, a woman, for female empowerment, to talk about racism and how unacceptable it is, what it's like to be a woman of colour, so do that in the future." So the Independent see that it is appropriate to report upon the comments of Bethany Frankel, another individual that's criticising them, and, of course, making valid points. Harry's wife will just dismiss this as more hate, but it demonstrates once again how another individual sees straight through them, and, more importantly, that mainstream media seems fit to comment upon it, demonstrating the downward spiral that exists. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.